anyone familiar with the Cray twins?
Yes.
No. And the Proclaimers?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
No. But they're...
No?
No, this is...
No.
Oh, yeah, no, excuse me.
How dare you?
He can explain. I'm busy at the moment, it's a bit tricky.
Listen, you can't explain how you're looking around.
Well, basically, you know, the Cray twins weren't from too far away from here, and they're a bit naughty, really. They were like a particularly mischievous version of the Proclaimers, but slightly more menacing. And, you know, there was a lot of people in their circle who didn't really want to be in their circle, but they couldn't help it because they grew up on the same estates, and, you know, I wouldn't like to suggest this because you never know if any relatives are in here now, but they could be a bit bullyish, right? Now, this guy is, funnily enough, he's called Bert, and he has been terrified by the Cray twins, and the song should explain why, and it forced him to basically emigrate to Spain, right? And learn a couple of inept chords. Something funny is happening to me. I've been living on the Costa del Sol since 1973. When from the East End of London I was forced to flee, owing to a socially inconvenient, socially completely unintentional inability to distinguish between the brothers Cray, Reggie and Ronnie, which would not have been a problem per se, or even in and of itself, if they hadn't been so fucking touchy. One day I was walking down a frog, minding my own beeswax, when out the corner of one of my minces, I spied something that still brings me out in a flurry of winces. Over by the bins, a black cab driver was being force-fed his own vehicle by one of the twins. Which one? I thought I got away with it. I thought he hadn't seen me. But unfortunately I peed myself, and he must have been downwind, because he crossed the street and said, "Hello, Bertie." Have you been a good boy? Clumsy club, clumsy club. You've been a good boy? He said, "Because you're smelling a bit nervous." I said, "Yeah, I think I'm fine actually." Don't worry about it, he said. Even our mother can't tell one from the other. There won't be no comeback, rest assured. which is exactly what he said to me before using my jacksie to store his mum's ironing board. In a way, I'm really grateful for the beatings and batterings what I was given by the crows. Because all that lashing and mashing and bashing and crashing, always have a wolf in your pocket. I think I'll leave it at that and do something else now. Thank you. There's more, but when I remember it. Notice the ineptitude of the guitar. Well practiced. Okay. Ooh. Move me to the side. Okay. Don't you just hate it when people say, make yourself at home, and then start umming and ahhing the minute you bury a couple of bodies in the back garden? I mean, make your mind up. Yeah. It's even, very approving, it's even worse if your personal freedom is in jeopardy. I'll give you an example. One minute, the judge seems reasonable enough as he says to me, do you realise, Mr. Satsuma, that MDMA found in your possession is a Class A drug? And then when I replied, perfectly courteously, that's really nice of you to say so, Your Honour. I was well impressed with the quality of it myself. I get done for contempt of court. Hell's that all about? I was that far away from accusing him of entrapment, when fortunately I remembered that 3 weeks previously, the same judge had given a dyslexic drug smuggler 10 years for illegally importing 3.5 tons of cannibals. So, I held my counsel there. Unfortunately, I think it's not his fault, but he didn't do himself any favours by getting represented in court by a barista. Because even though he asked for 14 other cocktails to be taken into consideration, it couldn't really work in those circumstances. So, okay. There's more. Oh yeah. Last autumn, it was getting late in the afternoon and I was standing in the middle of the forest in Kent. Completely lost. Not sure which way to go, how to get out of there, when the wind started to come. In the distance, I could hear rain. Oh no, rain screaming. I was trying to pretend I'd never seen the Blair Witch Project, and that the theme tune from Deliverance wasn't looping around the inside of my box, when a pine cone bounced off the top of my head. I looked up and was dismayed to see it was being immediately followed by a rather large bough, with that fat bloke off the go compare act clinging to it, wearing the fur onesie. I barely had time to think, oh well, at least he's not fucking singing. When it all fell on me, and I lost consciousness. What's happening? Had I lost consciousness? Oh! I wish the weather was lost consciousness. Much better when it goes wrong. Anyway, right. When I came to, I realised, I looked across and I saw that it wasn't him at all. What it was an extremely overweight, illegal immigrant, three-toed sloth. An easy mistake to make. Which rubbed his head and said, "Chingala madre pinchigramila." Now this surprised me, because that is Mexican Spanish for fuck's sake and gravity. Whereas that particular type of sloth, the Bradycus variegatus, is normally only found in the jungles of Costa Rica and Panama. As Sir David Attenborough, or to give him his favourite moniker, Naturey McNatureface, would doubtless confirm. I explained my predicament to the creature, which reassuringly replied, "No se preocupe, señor, ya conozco el camino." Would he not, sir? I know the way. According to the amiable mammal, the edge of the forest was no more than half a mile away, a distance we managed to cover in just under 2 months, by which time we were on first name terms. So I shall be eternally grateful to Pancho for taking the trouble to rush on my behalf, because half a mile in less than 2 months for a sloth is the equivalent of okay, it's you know, I mean, it's half the fun, isn't it? It's probably three quarters of the fun. Right, I'll end with a quick impression of Mozart's go-to spoons virtuoso, David Byrne, doing an impression of Her Late Majesty the Queen, doing an impression of Ray Winston. Thank you. Hello. I'm the Queen, but you can call me Mum. Unless you're so-called royal correspondent Nicholas Witchell. In which case, take your tongue out of my corgi's arse and cry off. The man is a Jeremy Hunt of Kardashian proportions. Totally without shame and utterly relentless. Why, only the other morning he came up through the U-bend as one was about to take a dump. At first I thought Phillips forgot his keys again, but no, it was him. It was hideous, it was like something out of a horror film. Forcing one to immediately vacate the throne and deploy the lid of the toilet seat as an IBD, an improvised bludgeoning device. One lidded and flushed, lidded and flushed. Still there, bobbing about in the pan like a little slaphead Freddy Krueger with a ginger comb over. Fortunately, one recalled the technique frequently deployed in Peaky Blinders and set about the blighter with one's crime to return it whence it came, the best place for it, a royal correspondent, a greasy stool in human form, more like. I'd like to end this brief bout of torture for you all with an impression of the celebrated actor and man of you, the people, Ray Winston, who can currently be seen on a screen in your vicinity, bigging up the virtues of online betting. In these, for you, cash-strapped times. Without further ado, great. Here, throw all your money away, you stupid, gullible cunts! One paraphrases, of course, but I think you'll find that's the gist of it. What? Ooh, he goes to the Queen. Thank you.
Please give up your innocence for Bert Satsuma.